you and I have been sitting and talking for a while, and you have a pet peeve that's just been kind of bugging the crap out of you, and it's these I think you call them iBuyers. Is that the right term?
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about those?
Sure, we can talk about that.
Why are they bugging you?
Well,
Because you're bugged.
Well, they're bugging me because it's not that it's a bad business model. There is certainly the need for someone to sell quickly for cash or whatever, but the way it's being marketed and the way it's being spun is that they're providing a solution to common problems and are trying to kind of Uber the real estate process. Which is cool.
Before you keep going, what is an iBuyer? So
an iBuyer
for people who are watching this and haven't seen this.
All right, so an iBuyer is someone that will buy your house. They're backed by Silicon Valley. They've got, $500 million lines of credit to come and pay cash for houses, so that, and the way it's being marketed is that you don't have to keep your house clean. You don't have to have showings. You don't have to do open houses. They're just going to write you a check. They're going to give you what they call a fair offer.
Okay.
And they're going to give you a fair offer to buy your house. No showings, no open houses, no painting walls, none of this stuff that you would normally need to get the home ready to go to market, no photos, any of that kind of stuff. They're just going to come in and buy your house, easy peasy, pick your move out date, no problem.
You've just sold me on an iBuyer. That sounds
great.
Wonderful.
Except
why wouldn't I do that?
Because we have not determined what a fair offer is when you only have one buyer and nobody else knows that your house is for sale.
Oh.
The only way to determine the fair market value of your home is to advertise it in its best light to as many people as possible and attract as many buyers to the table as possible to get the optimal sales price.
And what do they do with these homes once they buy them?
They're flipping them. That's the thing, is like they're charging a fee.
Okay.
They're not commissions. They're advertising that they don't charge commissions, but they'll charge a fee. And I know for a fact in Portland that they average 6.5% for their fees.
Wow.
It's not negotiable. You're not competing with another iBuyer for their fees. That's the fee. Then they're buying your house and putting it on the market. Many times they're putting it for $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 more than what they bought it from you and selling it as a flip, having done little work or anything. And so with the fees plus the flip, you're losing out on tens of thousands of dollars.
And you've actually shown me some actual numbers. You pulled up paperwork and you showed me there was $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 that they bought this home, and then a couple months later they literally sold it for $60,000 more.
I have a listing right now that they reached out to one of the iBuyers prior to listing it with me and got an offer in hand from the iBuyer. And I've already received 3 offers on this listing that are averaging about $85,000 more than what the iBuyer would have paid.
So it sounds like an iBuyer, one of these companies that just comes in and gives you a flat rate offer, would be fantastic if you need to get out instantly. You don't want to deal with any of the hassles, and you're willing to walk away from $85,000.
Right.
That's what the price of
speed.
The price of convenience.
Is that absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why people will watch, taxi cabs drive by and wait for their Uber because of the convenience of having it done in a couple of push buttons on their phone, and they'll let taxi cabs pass them by. But we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars. It's not something that you can just absorb a couple of bucks here or there. Because the technology is cool and fun and neat.
And the way you've described it to me is, again, it feels unfair. It feels like these people are being taken advantage of.
Well, and it would be okay if they advertised it for what it is. If you need a quick offer, if you need to get out of your house quickly and hassle-free, we're here for you. But what I'm hearing on the radio is, my house was on the market for 8 weeks and I had to keep making my bed and putting my toothbrush away, and it was such a hassle. And so, okay, that's fine, if you don't want to show your house, but we're talking about, $80,000. Yeah. You can make your bed for $80,000.
Or hire a maid.
Hire a maid for $80,000, and you'll be okay. And that's the kind of money that can be used towards the down payment of a bigger house in a better school district. We're talking about generational wealth. This is your kid's college fund, all of that kind of stuff, because you don't want to make your bed and put your toothbrush away. That's a big chunk of change.
Again, it sounds like you as a realtor want to make sure that whoever you're working with is getting the best value for their property. You don't want to
Right.
you don't want to focus on just convenience or quick. You want to get high value and
the main thing that we see, what I focus on, is trying to maximize the sales price.
Yeah.
There's other people that have different motivations than that. Sales price or top line sales price is not the only thing to consider when you're selling your house. How long the closing takes, whether it's cash or not. There's a few other things that are important, and some sellers will have more emphasis on the top line offer price or the convenience of it and things of that nature. But I think that, it's just not a great deal in most cases, and they got so much money behind them. Amazon's getting into it, Zillow's getting into it. There's so much, as Silicon Valley has decided to techify flipping houses, and who's going to lose out in that is the person that they're buying those houses from.
Right.
And maybe you want to get out quick. I've said that before. There's certainly a market for that, but with the amount of money and the amount of market share that they're going to want in order to become successful, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to leave money on the table because they think they're doing the right thing by taking the easy route.
So what would you want to say to someone who is sitting with you going, why should I hire you as a realtor when I have this here? A
good realtor is going to specialize in presenting that home in its best light to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
When you get multiple people trying to buy your house, then you're really determining the fair market value of your home. An appraiser's not going to do that. A tax assessor's not going to do that. Zillow's not going to do that. Nobody knows the true value of your home until we put it out to as many people as possible, and somebody says, I want to pay this price for that home. And when you're just dealing with a tech company online and they just run some quick online numbers and send you an offer, nobody knows what your house is worth. Nobody's bidding against that tech company. Nobody is even knows that it's for sale. I don't know how you can have a fair offer when nobody knows it's for sale.
That makes perfect sense. That makes absolutely perfect sense.
I'm passionate about it. It's not for everybody, but for me, when you can afford a $450,000 house instead of a $380,000 house because you've got that much more of a down payment, you're in a different school district, and that makes a big difference to the kids. I mean, that's what people want. They want that nice house in the nice school district and stuff. And when they're leaving $70,000 on the table because the iBuyer came in and wrote them a cash offer, I don't know, that's a little short-sighted.